Hey, it's Bradu. Boy, back to Terra Invictus. It has been a while. It has been a few weeks. I haven't been playing as much as I was, and I also took a couple detours and did a couple smaller little, not campaigns, little adventures. I did unnatural selection for is it the gauntlet in there? Yeah, the gauntlet in there was fun. And I also did the Mother of Madness. That was cool. Um, so anyway, I'm back to Terra Invictus for now. Check out this. I wanted to show this off. I got a beautiful map from Greg. Chubby Funster sent me this, kind of like a thank you for doing this series for, plugging Terra Invictus pretty heavily. Hopefully, I've brought a few sales because I do love this setting. It's amazing, and it's also got a black and white. Not sure I want to tricky. I'm not sure I want to mark them up. I've been marking this one up. Oops, sorry. Put those aside for a minute. So we are in Makuza. Oh, I should have showed that on the big map. That's what I wanted to show. Kind of the places we've been and stuff. So we're Makuza over here. Can you see my thumb? Oh, way over here. I'm gonna put it back down. Sorry, my camera isn't like big enough. But we've basically been all over here. Haven't been over here at all, or in the south. But we've done a big chunk of that area, as you can see from that map, where I've been highlighting where we've been. Um, so, what happened last session? I got to get myself back on track because, like I said, it's been a while. So, Thane got thrown in jail, wrongly accused. We snuck in and got him out. The burglar who accused him, we had seen in a past session, and she was kind of just a background character. But I banked the idea that she had planted way back then a stolen item on Thane to make it look like he stole it. So anyway, he's wrongly accused, chucked in jail. We got him out. She got away. I'm gonna, what is it called? Retcon something. I realized afterwards that I never did anything about his gear. So I am going to say that his gear was in this room where my guys hid out for a bit, and there's no way if they saw his gear that they wouldn't have done something about it. So I could do a whole mission to like sneak back in, but it just doesn't make sense that they would have just left it there. Maybe I should say that, well, see, and that's the other thing. Tank or Abbott can carry a ton. He's got like an 18 strength, so he probably would have been able to carry practically everything of Thane's. So I was gonna say maybe we don't get out of there with everything, and maybe that's. But I don't have the math right now figured out. In fact, I have nothing figured out except I think our only move is to try to figure out where she went, and I do not know that. So where do we go from here? So we're gonna say I tried to spot where she went and I had no luck. Hey, look at that. We're nice and focused in. That doesn't always happen. And I'm trying to use this mic like, kind of right up where I am. It makes it tricky. Sorry, I know nobody cares um about that sort of thing, but I got my notes here, my map here, my mic in the middle, and I'm trying to make it all work out. It's been a trouble. This is not my strong suit, clearly. Um, but anyway, so she got away. We did not make our checks the day of to be able to track her, so we don't know how far she went or anything. So what I'm going to say is we sleep it off, get up the next day, and make our run for it. Maybe we don't even sleep it off. I don't know. Thane's got to be hiding out. I don't know that the rest of us need to hide out, but Thane needs to hide out. But so we're gonna book it, and I think what we're gonna do is let me check my map again. Which way do we want to go? We don't know. We really don't have a way of knowing which way she went. And for no other reason than for no other reason than to check out some new hexes, I'm going to go this way. 3511. So let's just see what happens. Oh my gosh, I got to get my whole 3511. Okay, back to the action. So what happens is Nura has to make a navigation check since we haven't been here. On a 14 or a 15, she gets it, no problem. So 3, 5? No. Oh, 3411. Okay, we have been there. My bad. Okay, 3511 we have not been to. And it says, heavy driving rain throughout most of the day, overcast dark skies. A forest, okay. Secure, well-patrolled area under the control of Murado. It is covered in pine forest that is maintained by dedicated rangers. I was not supposed to read that, was I? Oh, yeah, I was. Man, I'm definitely out of control. Okay. Okay, so there's rangers. I got to roll for a random encounter. Now, anytime we go to a hex, we roll. On a 1, 2, or 3, we have a random encounter. So we do. And then I roll a d6 to see what it is. Every hex has their own random encounter table. A contingent of... Ooh. Okay, so we come upon a group. I'm going to get out a different. I'm going to start using Dungeon Pizza at least some of the time. So let's just set it up real quick. Move this. Because we're outdoors. What was it? A forested area? So we'll go on Dungeon Pizza for now. So we come across a contingent of 2d4. So let's see our number first. I'm a real mess here, huh? Got a two caltrops worth. 6. Blood-drenched knights praying to Kulkan. So a couple things we got to figure out here. Blood-drenched sounds a little dangerous. And Kulkan. Alright, so we see these knights, and I think we want to avoid them if we can. That's a DC 12 wisdom check. Thane is our wisdom guy. He's got a +3, so I need to roll a 9. 13. Okay, good. I think we just want to avoid those ones, though. Could have been a fun fight if it came down to that. So that leaves us with... There's nothing else in this hex. So... What I'm looking for, though, is that... What's her name? So I'm going to roll a tracking check for Nura. And I'm going to say it's a hard check. Because... At least hard. In fact... Let's see. Yeah, we'll go tracking check hard. What is tracking? Wisdom? That's not really good, then, because that means... She's a -2, but she does get advantage. But if it's hard, that means she needs a nat 20. But we're just guessing. So on a nat 20, apparently, I guess I made this harder than I thought. Because she's got I didn't realize she had a negative. I thought I'd have to roll like a 16. Said what I said. So on a nat 20, we're able to pick up a trail. Otherwise, she probably went a different way, frankly. No, not even close. We wouldn't have made it anyway. Alright, so now we're just kind of going randomly. This is a safe-ish area. We probably just saw the most dangerous thing there was. So let's go. Keep moving. We'll mark that hex. 3511, and we're going to go south. Now we aren't guaranteed that we didn't see her, but now we're going to go to 3611. We also have to navigate there. I'm trying to remember my 18. Ooh, good. Negative. Or nat 1 is dodged because we got an 18. So 3611. I'm trying to remember my hex crawl rules, which I set up, and I know there's new hex crawl rules coming out with the Western Reaches. So, and I barely peeked at those. 3611. So what I've been doing is I can do, I think it's 4 hours per hex, and I can travel 12 hours a day. That's how I've been doing it. So as long as it's a normal hex, I can get through 3 hours in a regular day. We also want to, well, yeah, I kind of wanted to find that girl, but man, I might have to come back to Makuza. Not right now. I mean, I guess I'm heading in a different direction. Okay, let's see what we got here. It looks rainy. Warm with clear skies, light rain. Okay, in the morning, yeah, we're kind of like mid morning, late morning, early afternoon. Pasture land, open hill country, technically under the control of Murado, but patrols are sparse. It is in a safe area. Still, the grassy hills appear ripped up in patches, as if by some giant beast. Uh-oh. Broken stone walls cut across the landscape as if to divide up property, but shattered by force. Holy smokes, my eyes are getting bad. I gotta wear my glasses to read this. Okay, boy. I hope it's not the Tarask. Alright, D6. Random encounter check. No, we have no random encounter this time. We do have a potential combat. So if you haven't been following this, I don't know if anybody's going to jump in on episode 66. But if you're doing that, the way Terra Invictus works is you read the weather, you then read the first look, and it explains kind of what you see, which is what I just described. And then there's other icons below that sometimes. And on this one, there happens to be a combat icon. Now, we can avoid this with a wisdom check. So Thane would be our wisdom guy, I think. 5. We cannot avoid this, even with a +3. I think he needs a DC 9, right? Which is low. So we cannot avoid this combat. A herd of 4d6 wild giant sheep roam these hills. If the PCs get too close, they will charge as a group and pound them to dust? Wow. That sounds horrible. Okay, 4d6. Alright, let's see how many we got here. Oh, I don't have a 4th orange die. I guess I'll use this one. That's too bad. Alright, oh my god. Why can't I roll like that when I'm making a character? 16? No, 22? Because it's not, I didn't drop lowest. I'm like dropping lowest, dropping highest apparently. 22 sheep. We did not avoid this. This is bad news. How do we play this out? Giant sheep. So I think what we're going to do is roll initiative. Somebody gets charged. So we're going to roll initiative. And if we lose initiative, somebody for sure is getting hit. So obviously the black is the sheep. Baba black sheep. 14. Oh, 20. Okay. You know what that means. And not only did we win initiative, but on a nat 20, like, we're able to get the hell out of there. These things start stampeding, and we're like, we get out of there. We as a group start running and get far enough away that they then back off. Because they probably, I don't know how fast sheep are. They're probably faster than humans. So yeah, we get out of there. And we're not going to do anything else in this hex, that's for darn sure. We're going down 3712. Navigate 14, we're okay. So now 3712. What was that? 3. Oh yeah. 3611. Sheep chase us off. I want to get better at taking notes. 3712, so I took a diagonal there, huh? Okay, we have Warm with a light breeze, clear skies. It's relatively quiet most of the day. Oh, so we're on our third hex of the day, so it's nighttime actually. Goria's Mountains, difficult terrain. So we can only get through a third of this terrain in the day because difficult. No. Arduous takes 3. We can get through half. Difficult takes 2, but we only have 1. Sorry, I'm trying. Difficult takes twice as long. So difficult takes 2 normal hexes, and we can do 3 normal hexes in a day, and we've already done 2, so we can get through half this hex. That's what I'm trying to say. Extreme Highland, ostensibly under the control of Murado, but sparsely patrolled. Shadowy figures can be seen in the skies. Interesting. First things first. Random encounter check, and we do have one, and it is... Ooh, okay, so we are traveling through the area, and we find a crate of abandoned wine. Damaged, but still holding 23 intact bottles. Do we have any wine drinkers here? 23 bottles of wine. That is A, probably a clue. B, probably a treasure. Bottles of wine have to have some value. It doesn't actually say the value. So I'm going to put the value at... I think it would be crazy if they were like... If this was like 100 gold pieces or more. So I'm going to put the value of them at a 1d3 gold pieces. All right. We have 23 times 3. 69. No. Yeah, 69. 69 gold pieces. Nice. But we might drink it all. Who knows? I haven't really played up the drinking, except for maybe some carousing. Okay, we'll take it. Now, because it's difficult terrain, we'll need to make another random encounter check at some point during this hex. But first, we have a symbol I don't see very often. I think it's the NPC symbol. So let's see if we get it. Right? Is that how this goes? Charisma. I think Nura is kind of our charisma, our leader. Oh, nat 1. So I don't remember what that means. If it means we... Let me read for just a second. Oh. Oh, it's a town. This is actually interesting. Okay, so on a nat 1, that's really, really bad. So, but does that mean we don't even find it? I don't think so. Though it does say it's hidden. I'm going to have to look real quick. I think it means that we don't get the positive interaction, essentially. So a settlement. It says NPC DC 12. We did not hit that at all. If you succeed, read their description. If you fail, the NPC declines your company and walks away. So what that means, you can reattempt another day unless you roll a nat 1. Well, we did. So what that means is they do not want visitors right now, or at least not us. So there's Aarakocras. We find the village, and we kind of approach the village, and we are met with certainly not a good... I think the question is, do they outright attack? I rolled a 1, so we already know what the... kind of what the reaction is, but I feel like we need a better check on the reaction. So I'll do a reaction roll 2, which is kind of redundant. But on the reaction roll, this is going to be how they actually act. We already know they're mad at us, so I'm going to do this. I guess I'll do it. No, I don't want to do it at disadvantage. I will drop my charisma mod and roll it straight. Well, that's that. That is hostile as ever. So they're not written to be hostile, but we rolled a 1 for our check to try to interact with them in a positive way, and I even tried to give a second chance. With the lowest roll possible on both of those, they're attacking us. Aarakocra. Okay, so I don't really think we want to fight, especially if the whole village is here. So what's going to happen? They're going to attack us. How many are going to attack us? Let's just roll a d6 for that. Or 2d. Let's make it 2d4. It's going to be at least 2. 2. Well, again, that's another low roll. I just rolled 2 1s, 2 1s, and a 1 on a nat, nat 1. So there's only 2 of us. 2 of them, I mean. So I'm saying we're like approaching, and they start to threaten, like they raise weapons. What kind of weapons do they have? I think they're a special monster in Terra Invictus, not in the core book. So let's do a quick peek if I could find them. Aarakocras are in here. Yeah, so they have spears. So I'm going to say they fly up and they throw spears at us in a threatening manner. Okay. I got it. So they're going to attack 2 of our characters. I've got them in order. These are the 2 that get attacked. 1 and 2, Abbott and Orgo. Makes sense, they're up front. Abbott's up here. Orgo's up here. Do I have an Aarakocra nearby? Probably not. It's not a monster I use often, so I don't really want to dig one up and pause, because I don't know that this combat is going to be long, but we're going to roll attacks at least. Okay, on Abbott. 17, that's going to hit for a d6. 6 damage. Ooh, man. Abbott takes 6. What about Orgo? 17, that's going to hit him as well. It sure is. It's a 20. 3. Okay, so Orgo takes 3, Abbott takes 6. Wow. Oops. Okay, so here's what happens. They shoot us, and I'm going to yell out. Nura is going to yell out, "We have wine! We'll offer you wine! Just don't attack!" And I'm going to give myself another shot at a reaction check. And I think this could go any number of ways, honestly. I will use her charisma on this one. Alcohol has a certain effect on people. So I could see this really turning things with the right roll. So I'm just going to roll a reaction check. We're offering them wine. 8. Much better. That would be suspicious, but a +3 gets us to curious. So I think at the very least that gets them to stop attacking. And the Aarakocras now kind of hover in the sky above us, and Nura starts to pull out the wine bottles, and she gives them each a wine bottle. She puts it down so they don't have to come like grab it out of her hands like a wild animal, and steps back, and they fly down and grab the wine and sniff it and take a sip. It's good. It's probably not that good, actually. I think this is at least going to stop the fight. Having said that, I don't think we're just suddenly like, "Oh, come on in, friends." So, man, this was this is a little tricky, this situation. I think what we're going to do, because it was so bad out at the gate, I don't think, like I said, I don't think we just walk in like, oh yeah, come on in. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to demand some of the wine to stop attacking. And I don't want to give up all the wine if I don't have to, but at the same time, we don't necessarily need 23 bottles. So I'm going to offer up. Let's keep it. Let's keep a nice round number. Let's keep a dozen and give them 11. I'm going to round up 11 and give them 11. And I think that's going to be enough that they're like, okay, this is at least friendly. We don't necessarily need a place to stay. They did wound us. We're not going to try to fight them. Sorry, I'm talking through this situation a lot. But I think what happens is that's it. That's it. We actually need a place to rest. Son of a bitch, right? I said we only have to go we can only go halfway through. So I guess we'll do that. Well, shoot. I already said they don't invite us in. We've got to keep going. But I think if we were to come back here, it would be smoothed over. Again, like I don't know about friendly. So we're going to keep moving. So on that note, I'm not going to go through the rest of the stuff in this hex because we did not have a positive interaction with them. But we're also not going to get attacked further. So let's do this. Let's roll our other random encounter in this hex. We're halfway through the hex, essentially. And on a 2, I think it's only a 1, so I think we're safe. Now we're going to try to camp out, because now it's late. We're wounded. Camp is a... Nura gets an advantage to camp. I don't remember my numbers, but an 18 is definitely good enough to camp. It's good enough to camp and get us safe. So Abbott and Orgo are going to be fine. Healed back up. And let's see, I'm just going to continue. I'm going to continue through this hex. The next morning, I'm going to roll another encounter check. I think that might be one too many, but I felt like there needed to be one at the end of the... Ooh, there's an encounter. Okay, let's find out. Okay. An abandoned apiary? He uses a lot of, like, fancy smart words. And, like, I've had to stop a few times and look stuff up. I don't know what an apiary is without looking it up. 35 gold pieces of honey can be salvaged with some effort. Well, we'll definitely do that. We want 35 gold pieces of honey. So, maybe the Aarakocras like honey, too. But I think we're just not going to worry about them. So we can now leave this hex, finally. And can we go? Where can we go? 3. I'm going to keep going south, I think. 3, 8, 1, 2. I'm just going for it. All right. We're going to do one more hex on this. On this sesh. Let's see what it says. Oh, somehow I missed. Warm and sunny. So now we're actually we're late morning. So we've gone through essentially one hex. Warm and sunny, clear skies with occasional gusts of wind from the south. We're in the mountains, Garais Mountains. Difficult terrain. So this is our last hex for the day. Rugged highlands, technically under the control of Murado, but controls are fewer and far between. Sounds a lot like the last one, right? Dotted with iron mines and stone quarries being worked by peasants. Roaming herds of bighorn sheep are a common sight. Okay, bighorn sheep. Random encounter. Yes, the random encounter is going to be a patrol of Murado Knights. They're cautious, but they will interrogate us. Whoa. Stuff over there. All right, so that puts us here. Looks like we just skipped over a town, and I feel like I would have known that. So we can go there if we need to after this. What do the... Now, I don't know that I have any kind of relationship with any knights on either side. So we're just going to roll a reaction check on the knights. It kind of says the reaction is cautious, but they will interrogate us. Maybe they don't like us. Maybe they do. 6 is pretty normal. 6 is hostile, but we've got a charisma modifier to bump that up to an 8. What is she? Man. Nura is a +3. I was right. Bump it up to a 9. Neutral. Okay. Neutral is fine. We can talk our way through this. We just explain we're passing through. We do ask about the woman that we're chasing. Have they seen her? I think it's really unlikely. But again, I'm going to make it a hard check. But this time, it's a charisma check, not scouting. Ooh, a 19. So that means they have seen her. Or they know of her. So I'm going to go like this. We're going to do a prompt. We're going to use solodark real quick and see what this means if we have any sort of idea. Here we go. 86 and 55. Ooh, dupes. Interesting. Okay, 8655 is defeat, trust. Defeat is kind of a weird word for this, but trust I think would mean they didn't trust her. So they did see her, they didn't trust her, they might help us. Let's do this. I rolled a 55. Where's my... I'm going to bust out Mythic, which I don't always do because I'm using Solodark here, right? But in Mythic, you have this, on a double like that, 55, we have, a chart to look at. And it's right here, event focus. So I'm going to roll a D100 and see what happened. I'm going to end up rolling another prompt here, 41. Move toward a thread. Well, I think the move toward a thread is going to be her. Because it makes the most sense. I'm supposed to be tracking. In Mythic, you track threads. Like, here's a storyline, a quest. I think the obvious one is since we're looking for her. And I'll use their prompt table this time and see if that gives us any hint. There's 73, 13. And it says propose war. Propose war. Okay, I don't even think I need to... That's funny. Propose war. So that means we are going to propose war. Okay, they didn't trust her. Neither do we. We don't like her. We're going to propose. How do we do this? We're going to propose that we work together to get her. So now I think we know she's close, actually. I think I kind of worked back around to maybe we've got some sort of a lead on her. And I think I'm going to end here, but I think what I'm doing is getting the Murado Knights to be on my side, at least in this endeavor of trying to track her down if they see her stop her. I don't know how to do this. I don't really want to like stick with them. Actually, maybe we should. Maybe we should stick with them. So, okay, let's end there. It's getting late. I got another session in. Didn't have any combat, did we? Oh, we took one attack. But I really wanted to get a session in for Terra Invictus and get back on track. I have a real hard time jumping back and forth like that, and yet I don't want to just do, especially because I'm now doing this on my channel. I don't want to just do one thing. I want to throw out, um, different types of content. Some shorter videos, some play videos, some discussing things about whatever. And so it is going to end up breaking up my sessions. But I don't want to wait as long as I did on this one because I was like, what the heck am I doing? I can't remember. I had to look at notes, and I had notes on my phone instead of them in my book, and it was disorganized. That is not my strong suit. But I'm glad to be back playing. And yeah, I've been having fun getting more into the community. I played my first game of actual Shadowdark with a group, and this is super cool. I'm lucky. I'm in Portland, Oregon, and it's like a hotbed of Shadowdarkers here. The guy who created Formoria is here. That's Brian. Oh crap, Brian O. Not Brian O. Crap, but it's Brian O. something. I almost said O'Donohue, but that's not right either. Sorry, it's Brian O. Not Brian O. Crap. But anyway, the DM that I played with was Will MB, who does all the Shadowfinder stuff in Menagerie Press, I think. So how cool is that? It's like a guy I knew and had heard of, and it was a really fun session. I definitely can't do it every week just because of my schedule of being a dad, but I just talked to my wife earlier tonight, and I'm going to go play tomorrow too. So I'll have my second session with this group. So I missed a session in between, but it's a West Marches thing, so it's kind of cool. I can just kind of drop in whenever I can. And yeah, anyway, that's just a little update on what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm throwing it in a Terra Invictus video, but there it is. So hopefully I'll be back at it with Terra Invictus this weekend and get back on track with the regular videos. It is my son's birthday tomorrow. No, Thursday. Well, yeah, I guess technically tomorrow because now it's early morning Wednesday after midnight. All right, catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.